Hi everyone, Officer Potak here.
Hi, it's Officer Best. We are here behind the Catasauqua School District Administration Building, which also joins up with the rear of Sheckler Elementary School at their garden to the rear of the school. And we were told by one of the administrators, Shelley Kiefer, that this was an ideal place to be, that it was quiet, that we'd be undisturbed, so we can do some reading. So we're going to offer that same to you. It's quiet, it's undisturbed, so if you have free time on a weekend, come here and read a book. Because today's book is going to be A Promise is a Promise. George was a very lucky boy. Just that week, his father had said, "George, you're a very lucky boy." "Your father is right, George," said George's mother. "You have everything a boy could want." "Well, I don't have a pet," said George. "I'm the only kid in town who doesn't have a pet. I'm probably the only kid in the whole world who doesn't have a pet." "That's ridiculous," said George's father. "I'll say," said George. "Oh dear," said George's mother. "I wouldn't want him to be the only boy in the whole world who didn't have a pet." "So, can I have a pet?" asked George. His father sighed. "All right, George, you may have a pet." So George went to look for a pet. That afternoon, George said to his mother and father, "I have a pet. His name is Oliver. I'll bring him in." George brought in a very large, very shaggy dog. The dog jumped on George's father and knocked him down. "Oh dear," said George's mother.
That looks like one of the dogs I had the pictures with. Those dogs were humongous.
Yeah.
St. Bernards.
St. Bernards they were, yeah.
They're very big dogs, very beautiful.
"Take him back," said George's father. "Take him back and get a pet that doesn't jump up on people or shed," he said, brushing himself off. "Or eat too much," said George's mother. "He eats us out of house and home. And get a pet that doesn't have to be let in and out and taken for walks." "Jeepers," said George. "Come on, Oliver."
Sounds like they want to fish.
Yeah, here's an idea. The next day, George said to his mother, "I have a pet. It doesn't jump up on people, and it doesn't shed, and it doesn't eat too much, and it doesn't have to be let in and out, and it doesn't have to be taken out on walks. And his name is Philip." "That's nice, dear," said George's mother. "Your father will be so pleased." "This is Philip," said George. "Phoebe is around here somewhere too. Maybe she went to check on her babies." "Take Philip back and take Phoebe back," said George's mother, "and take the babies back. Now!"
Nope.
"It's a mouse." "Gee whiz," said George. "You said I could have a pet." "Nothing that scampers," said George's mother, "and nothing that multiplies." "Everything multiplies," said George. "No, Officer Best does not multiply, does not add, does not subtract, or divide. Officer Best does not do math." Do you hear that, Mrs. Snyder? Officer Best is not going to be used in your third grade classroom as an audiovisual aid for mathematics anymore. Otherwise, there wouldn't be anything, nothing that multiplies much, said George's mother. There's Phoebe now, she added in a very loud voice. Okay, okay, said George. You don't have to get so excited.
I think a lot of people would act like that when a mouse runs in a room.
Are you kidding me?
That's when they call us when we have to go save the day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bat calls. Oh, my goodness. The next day, George came into the living room. I have a new pet, said George. And it doesn't jump up on people, and it doesn't shed, and it doesn't have to be let in and out, and it doesn't have to be taken on walks. It doesn't scamper. It doesn't multiply much, and her name is Penelope. She's in the bathtub. What do you think, kind of think train wreck this is going to be?
I don't know. I'm a little worried.
Oh, George's mother and father went with George to see his new pet. A very large something was in the bathtub. An enormous something. George's mother wasn't very positive. She had no hope. But she thought it looked very much like a shark. It was a shark. Oh dear, said George's mother.
Yeah, I don't want that pet. No, thank you.
Yeah, me either.
I don't even want to catch one when I'm out fishing. No.
This is too much, said George's father. Take it back! Why? Asked George. It doesn't jump up on people, and it doesn't... It's too unusual, dear, said George's mother, and it has such big teeth. Your mother is right, George, said George's father. It's too unusual. George sighed. You'll never be satisfied. No matter what pet I bring home, you'll find something wrong with it.
Big dog sounds like a better and better idea each page.
Birds are nice, dear, said George's mother. They don't jump up on people or shed. Or, your mother is right, George, said George's father. Get a bird. Okay, okay, said George. I'll get a bird. But how do I know you'll let me keep it? You always change your mind. Your mother and I promise.
No.
You may keep a bird, said George's father, and a promise is a promise. Yes, said George's mother. Your father is right. A promise is a promise. Well, okay, said George. Come on, Penelope.
I'm not sure how you transport a shark back.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm sure
Not on a leash.
The next day, George came home and said, I have a bird. Hubba hubba, said a voice from the kitchen. There's Horatio now, said George. I'll bring him in. He loves to visit.
I think they should have specified what kind of bird.
Yeah, I have a feeling I know what this is going to be. This is Horatio, said George. Well, well, said George's father. Mercy, said George's mother. Polly wants a cracker, said Horatio. Who's Polly? Asked George's mother. Shut up, you big boob, said Horatio. Is he talking to me? Asked George's mother. Where's that cracker? Said Horatio. Yep.
Should have stuck with the dog.
Take him back, George, said George's father. Get a bird that doesn't talk. You're a big fat nincompoop, said Horatio. Certainly nothing that swears, dear, said George's mother. Take him back right now, George, said George's father. But you promised, said George, and a promise is a promise.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yes, dear, you promised, said George's mother. George's father sighed. How do things like this happen? How do things like this happen, Officer Potak?
Not enough instruction, obviously.
Not enough instruction. Hubba hubba, said Horatio. Gotcha. Oh, wow, I guess a promise really is a promise, said George. And that is, a promise is a promise. And I promise you that in my house, there will never be a talking parrot.
I like that. I do believe in promises. So if you promise somebody something, you should stick to it and make sure it's something that you can stick to and it's not above and beyond something that you can handle.
Right.
But if you're going to promise something, stick to your word, because your word goes very far.
So let me promise you this. We promise, both of us, that we will continue to read books as long as we can, as long as Chief Kish keeps letting us do this as part of our duties and responsibilities. I also promise to be there if you need me while you're at home, while you're in school. All you got to do is reach out, and we will do the best that we can to help you any way we can.
Absolutely. That's a promise.
So having said that, from Sheckler Elementary School in their nice little garden here, make sure you keep your promise to us. Chalk your walk. Look for Flat Pat and get your picture taken if you find them. And most important, make a promise that you will wash your hands. Bye.
Bye, everyone.